Welcome to Chicago Blueprint. We got Bishop Ford here.
It's an honor. It's a pleasure. And it's an honor to be here.
Yes, sir. Let's tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Where could we start? When I came out my mama pussy, right? Nah. I know we probably had to bleep that out, but nah, Chicago, me, I'm part of the culture. You know what I mean? I've been around some of the people that's, I feel like locally and globally are some of the best artists, some of the best executives, um, period. That goes from Bump J, Slap Polaroid, G Herbo, Dirt, executives like John Monopoly, John Doe, Rita Lee, not in no particular order or nothing, but just Chicago, period, the culture.
Yes, sir. So let's tell the people just a little bit of something that they probably don't know about you.
Well, I'm an executive that choose to stay behind the scenes of a lot of things that a lot of artists who y'all really look at as some of the biggest artists in the world I've worked with and chosen to stay behind the scenes and be more of I want to say an observer to learn more than trying to be the person in front of the camera, put myself out there as I'm one of the guys that just know everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So
sir.
I kind of like chose to stay behind the scenes working with different individuals, particular people that was high ups, and just I learned a lot from them. You know what I'm saying? More so along the lines of being an executive than being an artist.
Right. So you don't like to be in the sunlight. You want to play the shadows.
Yep, yep, yep,
Okay, cool. Yeah.
yep,
That's a good way to be. It ain't the
yeah,
bird who flies the highest.
yep.
It's the bird that flies the lowest, lasts the longest.
Yeah, I already know.
Okay, so if you had, let's get into about yourself. If you had to describe yourself in 3 words, what would they be?
Humble, loyal, and dedicated.
Okay, okay. Let's um let's get into how did you get started in this industry?
So rapping, as everybody else do, coming from out of my mama attic. She had a son, one son of she 5 kids. I'm the baby boy. I got 3 sisters. I'm in the house with all women. In order to keep my mind occupied, keep me away from the streets, my mama allowed me to put a studio in the attic. You know what I'm saying? And started rapping, putting 1 and 2 together. Next thing you know, I felt a little confident enough to make a tape and put it out. People liked it, gave me a little bit more confidence, got to go in the studio, look up. Next thing you know, I'm with one of the biggest artists in the city, which is Sly Polaroid. You know what I'm saying? And he discovered me from I was doing the show at the Regal Theater.
Saturday night.
Yeah. See, this the culture. You know what I'm saying? Like it's closed right now, but we got an Apollo in Chicago
Yes, sir.
that a lot of people don't know about. It's called the Regal Theater. It's on 79th and Stony Island.
The cross section of Stony
Cross
Island,
section
South
between
Chicago.
Stony Island and South Chicago. And this is one of the biggest, I want to say, convention halls that's been around. It's a landmark.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We done had a lot of acts, a lot of people come through there. So when I got the call to come and do the show, it was with an artist by the name of Ben One. He had a song called Never Leave My Girl, and it was like going crazy in the streets. Sly Polaroid and Global Gangsters, which is JoJo Capone, and Pistol Pete, Chachi, all them, and it was me. You know what I'm saying? And like, come on, man. You know, you do the show. I'm like, I only got one song. You know what I'm saying? It was called a lot of that, but it was because at that time it was like the 50 Cent era, where we'd get a beat from somebody, go in there, remix it, make it our beat. You know what I'm saying? So I got a beat. I'm on a lot of that. Yeah, I'm on a lot of that. And it spread it out. It caught legs on its own. You know what I'm saying? So the promoters got to hit me. They're like, "Come on, we doing a show at the Regal." I go to the Regal, do the show. Little did I know, Slap Polaroid, this man got probably like $250,000 worth of jewelry on. You know what I'm saying? Like, he in the Regal Theater with us on the side, like, asking one of the guys that's from my neighborhood by the name of Chaos. He asking him, like, who is dude? Like, who is that? And he like, that's Bishop Ford. He, at this time, I'm a little younger than him. And he like, man, tell him to come to the studio with us when we get done. Went to the studio, never left. History, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And shit, that's basically where I got a lot of my recognition from being with a group that, because Bum J had Goon Squad and Slap Polaroid started NWO, which was No Way Out. That was his group. So I was a part of NWO.
Okay. So, in the city of Chicago, what side of town where you came up on?
The East Side, 2600 East, 87 in Colfax to be exact. That's 8 blocks from 79th, from where the biggest artists in the world come from, G Herbo.
Yeah.
And I'm from where the we call it State to the Lake because it's the end of the line.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So let's get back into it. Let's talk about some of the biggest challenges you faced earlier on in your career.
The business. Me, I had a look. So my godmother right now, her name is Rita Lee. She's the founder of New Face Entertainment. At this time, when I first met her, it was with Slap Polaroid. You know what I'm saying? And she was there for him. Feel me? It's a funny story how we met. She was there for him, and it was like the third day that she had been there, and I felt comfortable because I was getting her some weed and shit, you know what I'm saying, to smoke. So I felt comfortable one day, and I was just like, I'm an artist, and I'm trying to put out this project. And she was like, let me stop you right there. She was like, I'm here for Slap Polaroid. She was like, when they tell me I'm here for Bishop Ford, then I'll be here for Bishop Ford. And I couldn't do nothing but respect it.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, okay, I was out of line. You feel what I'm saying? Checked me, got back in my body, and that was the first encounter that me and her had. Moved forward 3-4 years later. I'm at the point of my life I lost my mother, and like a year later I was in a real bad funk. Year later, end up contacting her through DM and was just like, actually, DJ Victorious, right? So he's a big DJ in Chicago. He's been with the Migos. He's been with Rich the Kid. And now he's the official DJ for G Herbo. So during the time my mother had passed, I ended up being over there with him in the studio with him, just chilling, just vibing. I wasn't thinking about making no music, wasn't thinking about doing no music. He had a beat. He ended up doing a hook to it. It was called Jungle. And I put some verses on it. And he was like, man, this song is crazy. Like, you got to put this out. You got to put this out. I'm like, man, I don't really know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't really trying to do the rap thing. Like, I'm just trying to, chill, relax a little bit. He like, man, bro, if you don't put this out, I am. So I'm like, okay, let me get in front of this shit. So I was like, it's only one person I know I could reach out to. I want to see if she fuck with it, then I know I got something. You know what I'm saying? So I DM Rita and told her, I got a song I want you to hear. And she heard the song and she told me to get up with her. I bumped into her and she was like, you ready? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, okay, cool. Get to work. You know what I'm saying? She's like, it's just one song. Get to work. Make an album. So I got in the studio, got to getting around with the different producers, Chase Davis, DJ Victorious, Kings of, just all the producers that I had knew, you know what I'm saying, put together a project called Take the Call Off, and she brought me one of the biggest distribution deals of my life. with Empire Records.
Okay.
I hadn't had a single out, no buzz, no radio promo, no nothing. Now I got a distro deal. I got an 80/20 with one of the biggest distributors in the world, which is Empire Records, Gazi and Naeem. I'm signed to them for distro, and it's only at that particular time it was only me and 600 Breezy who had distro deals for Empire. This before FBG Duck got his distro deal. Any of them, me and him was the only two in Chicago with them distros.
So let's let the people know what a distro deal is. They probably don't know.
So a distribution deal is where you don't have to worry about the particulars of a label. A label is they sign you, they give you money, they put your music out. With a distributor, they like a partner. So if I had an 80/20, so 80% of my revenue come to me and my company, 20% goes to them. So they only get a percentage.
Exactly.
A distro deal is for basically them to just put out the music, watch the traction of the music, copyright everything, and to make sure everything comes back to you so that they can get their percentage.
Exactly. Okay. What was the moment when you realized you were on the right path in this industry?
I sold 1,100 units in, I want to say 2 months.
Oh, 2 months?
Yeah, 2 months. And this during the time when it's just like independent artists, and the only one who I was in competition with from Empire was Troy Ave. Troy Ave had like 1,300 sales in 2 months. I had like 1140. I remember the number.
So y'all was neck to neck.
Yeah, we was almost neck and neck. So that's when I got a call from Empire. They like you independent. How you doing this? This during the time when, so take it back a few years. This right before the streaming shit got real heavy.
Mm-hmm.
This when you could still sell your album for $9.99 on Apple Music. You know what I'm saying? And I come from an era where I seen people become 6-figure millionaires, people making 6 figures out their trunk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where they used to go take the box of music to the George's music room and then come back a week later, pick up their bread. Like, you just left out. How George just give you $3,000 out? Oh, them your tapes? Oh, okay, that's crazy. So I didn't really, now we in a digital age. You know what I'm saying? It ain't out the trunk no more. So I had to figure out a way. I say, how can I take this back to the out the trunk era? You know what I'm saying? So what I did was Apple had it where you can get the 3 pack of they was $10 a piece and 3 cards in the Apple pack, right? So I would get them as many as I could. I would buy them, and when I would do shows, I would pass out the card per person, per fan that wanted to download my album. Have somebody there to scratch off the code, put it on there, and then buy my album, $9.99. So the money was coming. It was cycling. It was basically coming out and coming back to me. You know what I'm saying? The only what made me realize that this what it was like, okay, this is what I want to do, is when I got my first check, right? I'm thinking that it's 80% of what I've already, you know what I'm saying, spent and put out. I didn't know that the business part of it was a third of a third. Like, it's basically like have you ever been in a car accident and then your lawyer, the therapist, and then you got to get your cut, you know what I'm saying? This was one of them where it was like the licensor, the distributor, they got to breaking it down to the point where when I got the check, it was a nice amount when it started out, but by the time it got to me, it was like almost not even $2,000. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, no, this ain't it. I gotta learn the business part. Cause how did I bring in close to $12,000 and I'm ending up with $2,000.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So that's
So I'm like,
1/6 of your money you got
right.
back.
I'm like, what the other part of this though went? And then when I get in touch with the rep of the label, they like, nah, well, it's a license fee, and then each platform that you're on, they send you a different. It's broken down different. So Tidal gives out a different percentage than Apple. Spotify gives out a different percentage of this, and when we collect it collectively, because the way that it worked with my distribution deal was that every 3 months the money would have to accumulate. So you will only get a check per quarter.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? They probably do it
Let
differently
them
now.
let them know what per quarter is.
So quarters is what the music industry is broken down into. They don't do things by days, months, or week. It's broken down into quarters. It's 4 quarters within a single year. Every 3 months is 1 quarter. So if they tell you that you're in your first quarter, that means you in from January, February to March. April, you on your second quarter.
Yep. Okay, cool. Now, let's get into some other things about the industry. What are some of the misconceptions that people have about the industry that you're in, the hip hop, the rap industry?
It's a lot of them, but the biggest misconception that I think people believe is that as soon as they make music, they're gonna be famous. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to say it like that, but I've just been in the music industry so long to where I've actually seen the progression from nothing to somebody. I have an example, right? I seen a guy. I would never say nobody's names because NDAs and shit is real. But I had a client that spent $1.2 million. He got features with some of the biggest artists in the world, from Gucci Man to Yo Gotti. Don't nobody know his name. Then I have an example of an artist that used to have dog shit on the floor and do videos with no shirts on with 10, 15 little dudes around him, and he the biggest fucking artist in the world. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
that let me know right there that it wasn't no recipe. It's not like you can buy your way into this shit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have something that attracts these people to you, whether it's your consistency, your business ethic, your talent. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like a lot of the times that a lot of artists think that these rappers are independent. They are independent, but they have partnerships,
Exactly.
which partnerships with a label still allow you to be independent, but you have a machine that's backing you that's bigger than your independency. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So if me as an independent artist, if I was to put out a tape right now through DistroKid, I would have to do the artwork, I would have to do the track list, and I would have to do all the legal part of it, which is the split sheets. I would have to do the contracts. I would have to do everything exclusively with the producers. I would have to wear all those hats. Versus a partnership, even though I'm independent, but a partnership with the label, and then they sending you things like here's your itinerary. Here is this artist. We sent over this artwork. We sent over this, and they'll have it done for you. You know what I'm saying? And you
Exactly.
still independent.
Right.
But then the real, when you get down to the meat and potatoes of the shit, they got a label.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
Exactly.
through their actions, it looks like it may look like they're independent, but they got a 50-50. Like Birdman will never shout out Universal. He gonna always shout out Cash
Cash
Money.
money.
But he got a 50-50 partnership with Universal. You know what I'm saying? So without Universal, he don't have 100 million. Without the 100 million, you don't have Cash Money.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yes, sir. Okay, so how do you stay ahead of the trends in your field?
me personally, one of the biggest, I want to give out. This is the biggest piece of game I can give anybody. Like when I seen the movie Cadillac Records, and that was filmed in Chicago. We
Yep.
had Motorola and everything, and when they were developing their artists, they would tell them, don't listen to the radio, right? Because they didn't want them to be influenced
Yep.
by nobody else and what was going on. So Me myself personally, it's the ostrich effect. I put my fucking head in the sand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like I'm not on my phone scrolling. I'm not TikToking. I'm not Instagramming. And if I am, it's because I'm working with a particular brand. I'm
exactly,
consulting a particular artist. I'm doing my risk assessment. I'm trying to see who they are. You know what I'm saying? But
exactly,
I know that this game that what we call entertainment, one day is a week, 1 week is a month, 1 month is a year, and 1 year is 10.
right,
You know what I'm saying? So
hmm,
that means you will hear your favorite Shake Your Ass song this year, and next year it's a different Shake Your Ass song.
exactly,
So I try not to pay attention to who's shaking their ass. It's just music to me.
yeah, exactly. Okay, so what advice would you give to someone that's trying to start off in the hip hop industry?
Build your team. Build your team. One of the most effective ways of doing business is establishing yourself as a business. When you walk into Walmart, you don't see the owner of Walmart in Walmart. You see the staff, you see the managers, you see the supervisors. You don't see the owner. That's because he's aligned himself to where he has people, proper chain of command. You know what I'm saying? So when
Yep,
you doing this as artists, my advice would be to align yourself with the proper team. And that means not look, let me go in depth on this because this is one of the pet peeves of the industry. If you got 5 of your homies sitting around you, right? And I don't care, y'all could be getting high, have girls, whatever. If none of them picked up their phone while you in that studio and took one picture of you, if none of them picked up their phone to record you not one time, you need to reassess your team because those are what we call entourage. It's a difference between a business team and an entourage. An
exactly.
entourage is people that's there to get high, take advantage of your talent, which means you got bitches, they got bitches, you got money, they got money. A business team is people coming over telling you, we got this schedule, we need to be up in the morning, make sure you clear this session in 4 hours. They knocking on the door at 5 a.m. in the morning to get you to the radio station. They the people that's even when you're not looking, they took the picture of it and sent it to you like,
Yep.
look, this picture cold. You feel what I'm saying? Like those are the
Get B
people
roll and everything.
beat everything. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And then to be honest with you, a lot of times a lot of women out hustle the men.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you will get a strong woman on your team and she'll get to doing your write-ups. She'll, do your bio, get to learning certain things on the internet, and you'd be surprised, bro. It's like you get home and a lot of these people, some of these artists that's really successful, Kevin Gates, for example, right? Drea, she was so instrumental in bro's career to where like you could tell a difference when she not there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you could tell a difference when she was there and when she not. And
Exactly.
that go for a lot of artists.
Yeah.
You could tell when they got the team around them, right? And then when they don't.
Mm-hmm.
So just for example, right? Like NBA YoungBoy. A lot of people think that Shorty's dumb and listen, he made mistakes along the way to where I'm pretty sure if he could go back and get them first 2 albums that he did, he would have. But you can't do the woulda, shoulda, coulda thing. You can only assemble yourself to move forward. So he put himself in the best position. And he acquired, instead of him going to get a big mansion in the LA or a big uh, Bentley, he bought him property in Utah and hired a full-time security staff to put around him. Not nobody that like my homie legal conceal to carry. Like he got people at
Yeah.
the gate with earpieces.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Prevent certain things. Cause in this industry that we in, the association alone, you finished.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody see you this John with me every day, and John go out here and do some freak shit, they gonna instantly associate him to me. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So now I done lost everything, or I gotta do some um damage control.
Control.
You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? Because John
Yep.
done did
Yep.
some freak shit.
Yep.
So it's like a lot of times you have to really watch who's next to
And
you
associate yourself
and
with.
who you associate yourself with.
Yep.
So when you put certain protective measures in front of you, like, okay, I got a security detail. You know what I mean? You got to talk to Big John before you can get to me. That prevents a lot of the bull crap.
Yeah, it needs to be a chain of command and everything.
It definitely do, because look at Ye. You know what I'm saying? I love Kanye. You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, he's one of the most brilliant minds in the industry, right? But to the world, it looked like he don't have nobody there to say nothing to him. You know what I'm saying? And that was one of the biggest things that I think, if you ask Chief Keef, right? If you ask him what's the difference between him then and him now, I'm pretty sure he'll say, because he didn't have nobody to tell him certain things not to do. Now that he do have certain people in the play to say, "No, bro, that's not really cool." You know what I'm saying? We ain't doing that no more.
Yep.
It prevents the damage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, Ye, he don't have nobody that's like. Sometimes money outweighs the relationship, and some people scared to lose that monetary value with that person because of what they say. So if you the type of person that really care about me genuinely, fuck the money I got. That don't mean nothing. Step to me and let me know when I'm wrong. Even if you ride with me in public, and when we by ourselves, tell me like, bro, you was wrong.
So you don't need a bunch of yes men around.
No.
Exactly.
And in this industry, it's full of them because of the money. It outweighs everything.
Yeah.
A person is willing to jeopardize their moral integrity just because they know I got a bag.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
now they laughing at all my jokes, even when they ain't funny.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? Like, it's got to be somebody that's like, man, bro, I'm content with even if I'm sleeping in a tent, I'm content.
There you go. Who or what has been the biggest influence in your career?
So the biggest influence for me as an executive would be Rita Lee.
Rita Lee.
New face, yeah.
You keep on bringing her name up.
Cause like I said, it was like a lot of people was promising the Golden Gate Bridge. You know what I'm saying? And the only thing she told me was trust the process. You feel what I'm saying? Like, just believe in what you got, know what you can do, and you'll be cool. And it turned out to be exactly what that was.
Yes, sir. It looked like it.
It's a lot. Thing, it's a lot of gatekeepers though. Chicago is full of gatekeepers. You know what I'm saying? And I call they as dinosaurs. I don't give a fuck. I'm pretty sure if this get out, they see it. They have something to say. Tap me on the shoulder, talk to me. We like that. But at the end of the day, y'all ass old. The way y'all was doing shit is old, and it got to be a new regime. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a part of the new regime. You know, like as far as letting these artists know, you know, don't sign this contract under duress. You feel what I'm saying? Like, just because they dangling 10,000 in front of you, that ain't gonna change your life. You know what I mean?
I feel you on that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about advice you received that changed your perspective.
Okay, so I gotta give it to him because this is my I got an opportunity to meet him, and he got the opportunity to explain to me why he said it. It came from Dame Dash when he was asked in the interview what made him know that he wanted to become more than just a millionaire. He said, because if I spend $1, I'm not a millionaire no more.
You're not a millionaire no more.
You know what I'm saying? So I got a chance to meet him. You know, we did something at the Chicago Cultural Museum on 47, the Harold Washington Cultural Center on 47 and King Drive with Rita Lee and Miss Tillman, Dorothy Tillman daughter.
Okay.
We got a chance to do something down there. Rita put a panel together with some of the most influential people in the music industry, and Dame Dash happened to be one of the people on the panel. Dave Mays, the co-owner of The Source with Benzino, and JB, which is the CEO of 150 The Machine, which is Herb now. And it was just like the room was packed full of influentials, and I got an opportunity to talk to Dame Dash. Like, we had a few days together, and when I brought that to him, I was like, one of the craziest things that, you know, like I heard in my life was that when you're a millionaire, you spend $1, you're not a million. He said, yeah, I said that. I was like, I know you said that. You know what I'm saying? I'm letting you know.
It's
like,
true though.
Yeah, but it's absolutely true. And it was one of the things that I let him know. I'm like, man, bro, that resonated with me more than anything because it took the bar away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like me coming up, watching the hustlers and the people from my neighborhood, it was like, if you get $1 million, that's it. The race is over. You
Right.
won. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we think $1 million you won the race.
Yeah, for
Now
the
that
rest of your life.
for the rest of your life. Now that I'm an adult and I know bills
Yeah.
and like all that, I know that $1 million is something that's just like to make you a little bit more comfortable than what you ought to be.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And
Most
that's only if you utilize it right. Because one more thing, another thing to elaborate on is money is not only do you got to know how to get it, do you got to know how to get it, you got to know how to keep it.
Yeah.
So a lot of times when these artists get these big deals, they don't understand that they got an unlimited line of credit that's from the label. It's like the label has a relationship established with the bank.
Mm-hmm.
The bank has a relationship established with the label. They give them an unlimited line of credit, right? So if I say I got this artist and I want him to go on Instagram and say he got a $4 million deal, I give him $4 million, right? But I'm only giving him 10%, which is $400,000.
Exactly.
And then you have to recoup that $400,000 in order for me to open up the rest of the budget, and that's where you get stuck at.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you trying to figure out how am I going to get the $400,000 back, and even if you do accumulate the $400,000, are you just going to give it to the label and be free and then be back to zero? 9 times out of 10, no.
I think that's kind of a trap though.
It's a super
because most kids that's coming up in the hip hop industry are from the streets.
Yeah.
From neighborhoods.
Yeah.
From poverty.
Yeah.
So most of them are looking for that type of money off top. So if just say you're giving a kid that's 21 years old,
Right.
$400,000.
Right.
He don't have a car.
Right.
He don't have a house. He
Exactly.
want clothes.
Exactly.
He want jewelry because that's the perspective they're putting out there.
Exactly.
And then he's going to want a nice looking woman too.
Yeah.
So he done ran through 200, 250 of it.
Mm-hmm. Probably within a month.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then the part of it is this, right? The label will keep feeding you.
No, they're definitely gonna keep feeding you because there's interest on that and
right,
everything.
It's interest on that. So when you thinking like, oh, I just blew through the 400, call the label, they're gonna give me another 50. Of course they're gonna give you another 50, but at the biggest interest rate ever. So that 50 turns into
you're a hamster on the wheel.
You're a hamster on the wheel. You feel me?
So
a lot of times where it's like it's a catch-22. I want to kind of rephrase that because I said it's a big trap. It's a trap, but if you know how to utilize it right, it could be beneficial to your.
And what you said at the beginning of the interview, a team.
Right, a team, exactly. If you could scale, you know what I'm saying, yourself. If you could know how to work the budget into it, the videos into it, know how to do this and do that, then yeah, you deserve to get the money and, you know what I'm saying, do what you gotta do. But most of the times, like you said, first thing they gonna do, I need the car, I need the house, my mama need my cousin, my people, I want to go flex, I got to put 100,000 to my ear, the girl need a Birkin, you know what I'm saying? So you look up and you done had 400,000, right, in your bank account.
Yep.
You look up and it's 40,000 in your bank account. And now you like, man, what we gonna do? And your team like, well, we told you not to buy the Bentley.
Yep.
We told you not to buy the, we could have waited on the house. We could have did an Airbnb for a year.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? We on the move, we on the run. It's scaling. So what you gonna buy a house for and you got the hottest song in the world? You not even finna be there.
Yep.
What you need a car for? It's gonna sit in the garage. You're not gonna be able to drive. Yeah. So it's like certain things that it's just like then the benefits of knowing how to leverage your celebrity. A lot of times, a lot of these artists that y'all think are getting have so much money, jewelry, cars. This stuff is leased, lent, and loaned. I can deal with a Johnny Dang right now, and he can come to my video shoot with 2 security guards, and a briefcase, a Louis Vuitton locked briefcase with the handcuff on him, and he gonna open that box and give me that $2 million worth of jewelry. And when I get through with the video, I take the jewelry back off and let him get it and put it
Put it
back in
back
his
in the
box.
box.
Yeah, and guess what? When he go take it back to the store, this big celebrity, let me show you this piece Gucci had on.
Yeah.
This is from this video. He got it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So what did people start doing? Now I want to customize my jewelry.
Yeah.
So what does that entail? Now we go from VVS, GI1s,
SI1.
down SI. Now we talking laboratory diamonds. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because these artists know that 9 times out of 10, you're gonna watch the stick up, man. You're gonna watch. I might pop in the crowd, lose it. It ain't 400,000. It's 40,000. It's a replica. I can get another one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But Ocho Cinco said it the best. He said, I never bought a piece of real jewelry in my life because I was a millionaire, and any jewelry I wore, people would think that it was real.
It was real. Most definitely.
So it's all about the picture that you paint.
And the perception.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get into some other stuff. If you wasn't doing this in the hip hop industry, what else would you be doing instead?
Whew. Real estate. Real estate.
Why real estate?
Because at the end of the day, it's two times in your life you're gonna feel fulfilled.
You know,
The
this is
day
my
you was
industry,
born.
right?
Yeah. The day you was born and the day you found your purpose. You know what I'm saying? I've found many purposes, many purposeful things, but yet to find my purpose.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like things that I feel passionate about. If I was to be able to get real estate, I know that it's something that I will be able to deal with. Like, I know how to gut out the house. I know how to hire the contractors. You know what I'm saying? I know how to, now we got to bring in the appraisers. And, you know what I'm saying? We got to get ready for sale. And I might be making 20,000, but the house is like, 400,000.
Yeah.
But I'm only making 40,000. The 400,000 going to the bank. You know what I'm saying? But this a flip. See, I learned that watching Flip This House.
Yeah, but you know, flip this house. They don't tell you most of the insights. You know, when you flipping houses, you know that's capital gain, so
Right.
you got to pay a lot of taxes on it.
Yeah.
So what the wealthy do, they keep the houses.
Right, and it's a tax write-off, right?
Right, they keep the houses and then they refinance them because refinancing is untaxable. So they refinance them, renting out, and then let the renters pay the mortgage back, and they take the lump sum up front, plus they have a residual coming every month.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like the game like that is
80% of millionaires and billionaires, most of their portfolio is real estate.
Right. That's what I'm saying. See, the blueprint has always been there. You know what I'm saying? It's what you choose to do with it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So just because you successful in real estate don't mean that I'm gonna be as successful, but I can be if I apply myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right, because everybody's path
is different.
It's different. Everybody's time span is different. So
Yeah.
you probably get it a little bit quicker than me, but if I keep on going at it, I can get it.
Yeah, and that's my whole outlook. It's not like, because you know I'm from the era of the tortoise and the hare. You know what I'm saying? I know that story. You feel what I'm saying? So it ain't about how you finish the race. It's as long as you finish
the race.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get into some closing remarks. You done went over a lot, gave us a lot of information about the hip hop industry, and a little bit started getting to the real estate and investments and stuff. What's next for Bishop?
Executive. My biggest achievement is when I get an artist, get up there on that stage and say, man, I appreciate everything Bishop Ford did for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that to me, that's better than a Grammy. That's better than an Oscar.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Just because it's like, you know, paying it forward. You feel what I'm saying? Like a lot of these kids, they don't understand that, you know, we come from an era where we had people to say, if you didn't go to school, I'm going to punch your ass in the chest.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? And that was like, we took that away and look what we left with. You spare a ride, you spoiled a child. You know what I'm saying? So not that, you know, it's a put your hands physically on nobody or nothing like that, but a lot of the times, you know, we got to pull our shorties to the side and really be represented. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like what THF I like what THF Lil Twin is doing. I like what Tay Savage is doing. I like what YP, Panamera P. We just got a vast variety of artists that's from the city that's like, even if you take the person that's the most negative and just put them with a few people that's positive. You get what I'm saying? Yep. I guarantee you their outlook could change.
Most definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So.
Okay, so what's next for you? Any exciting projects coming up?
So I got a compilation album that I'm working on that's for the city. I'm not even gonna say for the city. This for the world. You know what I'm saying? Just so they can get a hold of Chicago, because one of my biggest the people that influenced me the most was Quincy Jones, right? Like, rest in peace, Quincy Jones.
Yeah.
Man, he's so remarkable. He done so many things, right? And a lot of the times, he didn't even get the recognition for it.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Like The Wizard of Oz. Nobody knew until he said something. Yep. We Are the World. Nobody knew until he said something. Yep. All the way up until he was in his late 80s and 90s, this man was still sharp as a nail. Yep. You know what I'm saying? His daughter, Kadada, being with Tupac. He done been around some of the most famous, influential people. Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? And never bragged or boasted not one time. You ain't hear him say, it's because of me, Will Smith just did. It's because of me. He just was Quincy Jones.
Exactly.
So I just want to be Bishop. You know what I'm saying? And the projects that I got coming is, I do artist development and consulting now. So a lot of the things that I do is it's outside of the box. It's not in the normal frame of being an artist. Like, I don't put too much focus on me. I want to focus on the industry as a whole.
Okay. Yes, sir. All right. So where can people follow you at and support your work?
Bishop Ford _NWO. That's going to be for life. On Instagram, Bishop Ford _NWO, and Bishop Ford on all platforms. Facebook, Instagram, things of that nature. And I'm not trying to do like one of them, I'm the biggest executive in Chicago, get out with me, DM me, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
this is actually like one of them things where I gotta like know that I can deal with you. Like, you can't come to me as a country artist, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And just be like, I want you to do this. And I'm like, okay, I've never done country a day in my life. I don't know Cowboy Carter, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like, as far as consulting and just pointing anybody in the right direction, anybody can DM me. I'm not one of them people where I'm not going to respond, I'm not going to talk, I'm not going to play Hollywood. DM me. If you got a question to ask, hey, bro, do you think that I can do this way? And if it's to the best of my knowledge, I'll answer it.
Yes, sir. All right, let's see if you can give any last words of wisdom to our audience and your audience and fans too.
Stay consistent. No matter what you do not quit. I tell people all the time, right, in Chicago, we got a couple of hot spots where if you need to grab a quick pair of socks or something, like 95th and Stony, 87 and Dan Ryan, you can always hit them and know they got socks right there.
Commercial.
Yeah, commercial. You know what I'm saying? I'm grabbing me a quick pair of socks, I'm driving, but I know that they're going to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like that in music too. If you building a fan base and you really want this, I promise you, look, y'all, I'm looking right in the camera. Everything is obtainable and everything is there. You just have to want it. And the sacrifices and the bullshit that they put out, the Illuminati and all that, none of that is real. But the sacrifices that you're going to make is you're going to miss some of your kids' birthdays. You're going to miss some of your birthdays. You're going to miss some of them moments with mama.
Yes,
you know, you're going to sacrifice. Those are the sacrifices that you make. But later on, it's made up because you don't have to worry about certain things. You're changing the life of you and everybody around you. I want you to understand this. I'm going to say it again. You're changing the life of you and everybody around you. So the engineer life is going to change. The producer life is going to change. The manager life is going to change. Everybody's life is going to change from that one moment when everything click and lock in. So stay solid, stay consistent, and everything that transpire from it is what's supposed to come from the hard work that you put in.
Yep. And I'm just going to iterate on that just a little bit. This is a saying that I say to people a lot. What are you willing to sacrifice on the front end to reap the benefits on the back end?
Yep.
It can be you not going to the club every weekend.
Exactly.
Just go once a week.
Yep.
That can be you not wanting to go out with your girl or your husband every week. Make it 1 week. That can be you not getting the truck that you want right now. Get you a Corolla.
Yep.
It's whatever you willing to sacrifice to reap the benefits on the back end.
I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen the person that's always at the club every week, and I've seen the person that said, no, I'm going to chill. And the person that said, I'm going to chill, right now he's successful. He's one of the biggest this or that. But the person that was at the club every weekend is still doing the same thing at the club every weekend.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So with that in mind, hey, like I said, stay down, stay locked in, stay focused, stay consistent, and the W is right there. You're going to win.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Bishop Ford, for coming on Chicago Blueprint and chopping it up.
Anytime. I love you, man. Look, hey, I want to tell y'all like this, too. Keep positivity first. We got an opportunity to change the narrative, right? So as y'all can see, a lot of people are doing that in the city. Don't think about it as like no trend or this just what everybody fake. They want to be Muslim now, because I'm hearing a lot of stuff under the surface from what these kids are trying to do positive, like J Main, Tay, Twin, and them, you know, and it bothered me because it's like y'all see what they doing positive, and instead of y'all catching on to that, y'all want to try to, you know, say it's fake or it's only for a moment. But this just saved a 15-year-old kid from getting killed. This just made it to where mama and auntie can walk to the store. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep that up. Let's keep this positive road that we got for Chicago going, because I done been in rooms with these executives, and the one thing they say is they can't do business here because of the business is not here. You know what I'm saying? And until we bring the business here, that's the only way that they gonna respect us. And that means that by them calling and they say, I want to get up with such and such, they get up with 2 weeks later they dead. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we got to save ourselves by saving others.
Yep. And before we end this, I just want to get another shout out to Twin, because I heard he trying to do big things out here with the neighborhoods, the mayor, and non-for-profit organizations. That's a good thing he doing.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's why I say we changing the narrative. We putting it to where, you know, they got an opportunity to make themselves better in the community, because it's the alderman and the mayor that's watching you.
Oh yeah.
It's the local politician that's talking about you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So when we change them narratives is when we'll be able to open a lot of more doors for our city.
Yep.
Because they know that these people over here, we can call them and they gonna come and do a toy drive. We gonna call them, they gonna come and do a food drive.
Exactly.
Put that on the surface. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the last time we did a toy drive where we helped the kids for Christmas and gave out over $5,000 worth of toys to the kids for Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Instead of going to buy them a Mary's. You feel me? So, yeah, man. Let's stay down for the culture, Chicago. Let's stay down.
Yes, sir.